Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel for another Hot Toys figure preview video. Before we begin, I want to say a massive thank you to Ryan Kirkwood for coming along with me in person to this Hot Toys pop-up store in Shanghai and snapping these badass high-res pictures. Show Ryan some love in the comments below because without him, this series literally wouldn't be possible. Hobie stole the show in Across the Spider-Verse, so I am so freaking happy that Hot Toys decided, yep, we are going to make Spider-Punk. If you are looking to grab your own copy of Hobie Brown, I have popped the link to Pop Collectibles in the description below. As always, do your own research, make sure you are comfortable before buying. I've also included the discount code Justin's Collection for 5% off your order if you do decide to buy from them. While you're down there, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon, and join button, so you're notified as soon as a brand new figure preview video goes live on the channel. Hobie does come with a full array of hands, and these hands are just interesting to look at. The red is soft and matte, yet vibrant at the same time, and that metallic electric blue, it just pops against that matte red. And then all you have to do is look at the shape of the hands. The fingers are quite long, they're also very geometric and super blunt at the top. Like I said, these are just some interesting hands. You do get the full complement of new Hot Toys Web Effect pieces. They do look like they plug into the web shooter with that little peg that sticks out from the bottom, just like all of the recently released Spidey figures. I'm not sure if this guy comes with the full array like the triple web and the wired one. We'll just have to wait and see when this guy eventually releases. Now this is the special edition bonus. This is the time travel wristwatch of doom that Hobie gives to Gwen and she uses to get to Miles in that different universe. Sorry if I explained that poorly, but that's exactly what happens in the film. The little post-it note is present, and the writing can be read in person, a little bit more challenging on camera. This head sculpt, like Miles said, how does Hobie look even cooler without his mask on? But he does. Also, how does his mask contain all of this sick-looking hair? There is so much texture to it, there's so much life to it, and a lot of personality. It sticks out in every direction. He's got moving eyes, he's got a lot of piercings, and they're painted in metallic silver, which does stand out against the matte finish for the skin and the hair. Overall, I love this head sculpt. I don't know which way I'm gonna go. Do you display Spider-Punk without the mask or with the mask? Because all of my other characters I usually have masked in the display. But when a head sculpt looks this good and captures the likeness from the animation as well as this does, I'm tempted to use this. You'll have to help me out. Please, let me know what you're gonna do down in the comments below. The display base is all kinds of crazy, multiple different colors, and the Spider-Punk logo up on top. They have used the more animated style font for the nameplate. Unfortunately, it's not all sunshine and rainbows, folks. He does have some very tall boots, and your eyes do not deceive you. They are not split cut boot designs, even though there is a crease down there at the ankles, and that's where you hide the split cut in the ankles, Hot Toys. That's the best place to do it, because it's already a natural crease, or better yet, just include two different options for the boots like 3-0 are doing. Have aesthetic boots that are completely seamless like this, and then have split cut boots that look almost as good but provide way more articulation. This is a Spidey figure. And if you do want him to stand with a wide stance holding the guitar with his feet flat on the ground, it simply ain't gonna happen. The top of the boots do flare out a little, so you might get a touch of tilt, not nearly enough, at least in my opinion. His pants are crazy looking. You've got all kinds of patches that would have been sewn on there, but in figure format, this is just a print on the surface, some kind of vinyl overlay, which means the pants do look like that rubbery style material, so that's another con for Hobie. It means that you are going to have to be more careful. You've got lack of ankle articulation with the solid boots, then you have a very slim framed body, and now you have vinyl pants. This guy might be a posing nightmare. Or he could be fantastic, I don't know, we'll have to wait and see. But these are just the things that I'm noticing right here and now, and the things that I noticed in person when I saw this guy. He does have a very Spider-Punk-esque looking vest on, and it does look to be made of pleather. I'm hoping I'm wrong on that. Just right now, having seen this guy, that was my takeaway. I thought that this vest looked like a pleathery material, especially with that grain on the surface. All of the buttons, the zippers, the outline in white on the collar, all of that is screen printing. Quite clever, considering there is enough depth to sell that they are raised off the surface, but not enough for it to be cumbersome and have to work around all of this extra stuff either sewn on or stuck onto the jacket. All of the studs around the back, screen printed. All of the design cues are there. You have the spikes, you have the studs, you have the SFMN spider symbol on the back. And my favorite detail here is it looks like it's been spray painted with the little drippy sections and the spots where the paints would have pooled up as he let go of the nozzle and it speckles a touch. All of that stuff I really like. So this vest, as long as it is durable, I think is a win. I am curious to find out if it's wired though. It looks like it is because it has a very stiff, rigid structure to it. Then again, it could just be the material that it's made out of. Another thing that we'll have to wait and see on. The studs on this bicep cover are asymmetrical, as in there are multiple different sizes and shapes of them, so it just adds to the wacky aesthetic of Spider-Punk. You can see a little bit of peeling on his bicep for the red material. That's something that I hope they tighten up with the weave. If the weave is really, really fine, it shouldn't have that issue when you run your finger across the surface, like the 1966 Batman and Robin figures. They also had the peeling issue. You just look at it the wrong way and the fabric looked all kind of nasty. I'm hoping that they tighten up the weave on this one. They use high quality fabrics, shouldn't be much of an issue. He does have his own time travel wristwatch on currently on the right hand, and he comes with a hand specifically molded to hold the guitar pick. On the other side, you don't have the bicep cuff, but you do have a wrist cuff. It also has the studs in different sizes and some buckles underneath. But the best accessory here, bar none, I think we'll all agree on this, is the guitar. Not only is it really well sculpted, painted, and detailed with the real strings and having them stick out at the top with the different sizes and shapes of the little twisty knobs, plus all of the patterns and buttons and bits and pieces on the surface, but it's got the cartoony outline just like we saw in the film. And that's something that I didn't know I wanted to see in 1/6 scale until I actually saw it, and surprisingly, it works. He had a very weird aesthetic in the film, man. I mean, he had stuff changing around him constantly, and he was a little bit hard to follow visually speaking. But then the second and third time I watched the film, it started to make a touch more sense. I would like to see multiple different colors and shapes of outlines around the guitar, is what I'm trying to say. Look, this could have gone so wrong. Not just the guitar, but the entire figure. Remember the original 2099 Spidey from Across the Spider-Verse, the one with all the visible joints? What were they thinking? It failed, people were really pissed off, they had to go back to the drawing boards, and then they brought out a new version which was much improved. I don't think this guy is going to need the same treatment. While there are a couple of things that I would like to see them tweak and change, I don't think he needs a complete overhaul. So far, I am very happy. Now, the masked head sculpt, I know I said I prefer the unmasked one, and I think I still do. There are certain details here that have me thinking maybe I should display this one. The big asymmetrical white bright eyes and the streaky makeup that looks like mascara coming down his face. Very rockstar-esque, or punk-like, I guess you could say. It just fits the vibe, and the individual spikes that have been inserted into the head sculpt at varying different sizes and lengths, it adds to the craziness, the anarchy of this design for Spider-Punk. The web lines aren't even straight, they're all kinds of crooked and wavy. Every single little thing adds up to making this guy as cool as he is. And I personally cannot wait to get Hobie into the display. I am curious to see how well this guy will sell, because the original Spider-Punk that we got from the PS4 game, I know, quite different, and he wasn't actually a very strong character, because he wasn't a character in the game, it was just an alternative suit, versus this guy who was a properly strong character, might mean that people will gravitate more towards this version of Spider-Punk versus that original one. Now, the background is massive. It's also quite deep. It consists of multiple different buildings and bits and pieces all made out of cardboard. There are some anarchist like word bubbles around the place, including one that just says his name for some reason. I don't know if everyone is going to have room for these things. I say that because I don't know if I have room for these things. They do put him in his element, especially the Big Ben. If I was only going to use one of these cardboard cutout pieces, it would probably be that Big Ben. It's nice that you can pick and choose which ones you want to use, because it's not just one massive conglomerate of cardboard. You can actually just diversify, have certain pieces in certain other areas of the display, or just use one if you so choose. Now, if you are looking to grab Spider-Punk, I have popped the link to Pop Collectibles in the description below. As always, do your own research, make sure you are comfortable before buying. I have included the discount code Justin's Collection though for 5% off your order if you do decide to buy from them. While you're down there, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon, and join button if you like the sound of seeing your name in the end credits of my reviews. Like, comment, and subscribe. We'll catch you in the next video.